Hello everyone. Good evening, I guess. It's another late night one. But I wanted to get something out. I think it's been about. It's definitely been over a month since I last uploaded. Again, I'm sorry for that. But I should be getting back onto it soon. Um, Everything that I needed to get done has been done, which is good. And so I have more time to focus on other things. This is one of them. So I wanted to make a video just sort of help me get back into the swing of things, I guess. Um, so it'll take me a second, as well as the tiredness on top of that. But what I wanted to talk about today was something that's kind of as I've been working on things on the final sort of projects that I had to get in. Um, I found it very difficult to stay motivated, and I think that a lot of the culture around motivation and drive and passion, especially within the sphere of writing spheres or the creative spheres or any creative sphere, whether that be making books, making non-fiction work, making films, whatever it is, it can be hard to stay on a baseline of motivation and to keep going and to keep that sort of power and that energy going. And I say energy um, because I'll come back to that word because it's a very important word. Motivation is energy. And it's the energy that we sort of crave to keep us going, to keep that drive going. But I think there's a big difference between drive and motivation, and I actually think they're not too dissimilar that they're completely different, but I think they have qualities that definitely differentiate them from one another. And in that sense, I think that one is, although they're both important, one is certainly more important than the other. And unfortunately, I don't think it's motivation. Now, motivation is absolutely important, but essentially, motivation is just an energy drink. That's why I mentioned the word energy earlier. Motivation is just an energy drink. When you get an energy drink, you take a sip of it, or maybe you take a few sips, give the whole can, or maybe even 3 cans, depending on what your tolerance is. But you drink it and you feel really energized. You feel raring and ready to go, and you want to get things going, or you want to move about a lot because of that caffeine, but also because psychologically you feel more wired and capable. You want to get the things you want to do done, whatever it is. But then you plateau, or or you crash. And then you have to use another energy drink to get you back up again, or you need to use a few more energy drinks to get back up again, or you just fall flat and you don't do anything for a few days, or a day, or the rest of the day, or even a few months. Um, Now, with that analogy in mind, motivation being an energy drink, it can be with that very culture of staying motivated and watching all these videos to keep you motivated, or even getting into a kind of trap, which I definitely got into a little bit, where you feel like watching that content or consuming that content. I don't just mean online videos there. Consuming that content becomes a form of, you feel like it's a form of manipulation. Well, it's manipulating you. Sorry, I hiccup. You feel like it's a form of motivation that's motivate. You feel like you're doing work, and that's manipulating you into thinking that you're getting closer to where you want to be, where you're not at all. Um, you're trying to trick yourself into believing that it. And that's where I think that motivation can be dangerous. Feels like a harsh, extreme word, but it can be very overused. I think it's important to have drive, and it's important to have a goal, and that goal can seem so far away that it's impossible to see because you've not crossed enough distance towards the horizon where it'll start to rise in the distance. You can see the goal in the end, or the sun starts to rise and you can see the light coming through the end of the tunnel. And sometimes not being able to see that on the horizon in the distance is demotivating. So you take a lot of energy drinks to get you there quicker, but when really it's just going to slow you down. It's important to remind yourself of what exactly it is that is in the distance, because what's in the distance and that goal to you should be more motivating, paradoxically, I guess, than any kind of energy drink that you feel like you need to constantly consume. And sort of that mindset kind of helped me through the last few weeks, I think. And I just wanted to share with you. And yeah, that's about all. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a good day or night. Yeah, take care.